Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to this stream. Welcome to another one of these. It's been a long time since I've made one. Actually, it's been like a couple days. But anyways, here we are. I think I named this episode number 2. It's actually episode number 3. We started from episode number 0. So I streamed a couple. I did 2 streams actually. Last time that I streamed. I did one in the morning and one in the evening, and then I went ahead and skipped 2 days. I went to the beach first, and then I just took a day off yesterday. So I feel like I'm understanding what I want to do with this channel, and I feel like I'm understanding what I want to build, what I want to code. So really, great time right now. But anyways, here we are. It's been I feel like live streaming is a lot of fun. It's a way to make a lot of content, do it live, and it's pretty entertaining. For me also, like doing it, it's kind of fun, it gets me going, it gets me out there, so great thing to do. Great show for you today. It's the first time that I've actually planned a show, so kind of crazy. I know. And anyway, let's see what we can get done. Right? Before we start, there is one thing that I want to tell you. There is my Telegram channel. Actually, I'll spam it in the chat also. And well, it'd be great if you joined. I'm trying to get some people into my Telegram channel, so that would be awesome. So I'll drop that in the comments, and let's get started. Let's get started. Oh my god. Okay, well, there's little I can do about that. Yo. Hell no. Okay, so now that we have my Telegram channel in that fucking chat, let's start off easy. Let's start off with some of the things that I wanted to talk about. One is, I'm fundamentally very scared about data safety. We've gotten used to... I'm fundamentally scared about data safety. We've gotten used to a world in which we don't have any privacy. So everything that we do online is tracked. And this is a very big problem for a bunch of reasons. But mainly I think that this data is so powerful in applications that are extremely violent and disruptive. By now I feel like we've gotten used to not having any privacy. Damn, okay. By now I feel like we've gotten used to not having any privacy, and that is, that is something. Oh my god. Okay. By now, I feel like we've gotten used to not having any privacy, at least online, even in the real world, actually. But this is very problematic on in a bunch of ways. By now, I feel like we've gotten used to not having any privacy. I'm talking about online, offline. There are surveillance cameras everywhere, but I feel like it's incredibly dangerous for a bunch of reasons, but I think that this kind of data can then be used to create stuff that is extremely violent and extremely disruptive to the tissue of society. It's extremely dangerous. So I'll give you a couple of examples. One is, you see a video that you like on Instagram, and so you think to yourself, I'll comment on this, I'll say like, that's fire, to support the person that made the video. And that would be nice, you're actually supporting that guy. But the thing is, while you do this, your emotions are being tracked by Instagram. And so I feel like it can just do a psychoanalysis on you. And I know that making content is pretty much the same thing. But the kind of psychological introspection that you can get from a person's behavior is so damn powerful. Think about the psychological weapons that can be used against you. I'll show you in a minute that actually you can create videos, targeted videos. With AI now you can just make so many and so quickly. And if you know stuff about a person's, past, their psychological profile, the kinds of things that get them triggered, I feel like the kind of things that Instagram can then show you on your feed can actually be extremely disruptive to your psyche. Secondly, I feel like one of the actual least protected data. Secondly, I think that one of the most important sources of data is hospitals. The clinical data that you can get from a hospital is so valuable, and hospitals have some of the worst data safety. Hospitals are the ones getting constantly hacked. Hospitals are the ones that don't care about their data. And this is so stupid because the kind of bioweapons that you can produce with that data is astonishing. It's astonishing. I feel like bioweapons is one of the things that scares me the most. It feels like something so extremely disruptive, so extremely subtle, so extremely lethal, that this kind of ecosystem in which data leaks every day is just asking for these kind of things to happen. So the psychological and bioweapons that can come out of this are so immensely powerful, so immensely disruptive, that, it's just an extremely bad position to be in, I feel. Anyway, I was also thinking about the fact that who doesn't have privacy? Who is not entitled to their privacy? And I think it's prisoners. Which kind of free man has to be monitored all the time and has to, be surveilled all the time? It's the prisoners that get that treatment. So pretty much we're living in prison pro max, in which everything you do is tracked, everything you do is used against you, everything you do is fundamentally a sin, and everything you do will be used against you. I know I'm sounding very pessimistic, and I feel like I've accepted this. This is why I'm making content. Because I've understood that regardless, I can either, not have any opinion, and just take it, or I can just, use the fact that my privacy is fucked anyway and drive this forward, make content, tell the world that, since I don't have any privacy, at least I'll use it to do something, to move people, to take action, Okay, so let's take this video that I just recorded. And so the thing that I want to build today is a sort of video editor. So to me, it shouldn't be too difficult, to be honest. So we're gonna first take a video, then remove the silences, and then we're gonna sporadically add in a bunch of images, and well, that's gonna be it. So it's really it's a pretty bad editor if you ask me, but well, let's see. I used to. I always code and I like it, So first of all, what we do is transcribe. Actually, I feel like, let me just see. So editor.ipy notebook. Does this do all that? You'll be given. Okay. I think this should be good enough. So let me just try it. Dove sei? Stavo cercando di vederti in mezzo a tutta questa folla. Lo riconoscerei il tuo nome. Quasi 8 miliardi di persone. Dove sei? Okay, I feel like this is it. And our path is gonna be this video I just recorded, so I'll actually move it over there. Movies. Is it this one? Should be 6 minutes. Here it is. So let's see if this works. So it's gonna take a little bit. In the meantime, we'll set up a transcript. Okay. You know what? I have a MacBook, and I don't like it. I don't like it because for coding, I feel like you need a bigger screen. So I used to have a much bigger laptop. Like it was, I had a much bigger screen, and I thought that I didn't like it until I changed it, and now I realize that I actually did like it. So that's a sad story right there. Anyway. I'll go get some water while this goes on. So the next thing that we need is a search API. So I feel like I have one. I'm trying to move away from Chrome, but the thing is, all of my fucking passwords are saved in Chrome. So this is a kind of, Chrome is like a bank. Once you give them your money, you're like, they have your money. What are you gonna do? Go to war against the people that have your money? Anyway. And like, this is one of the reasons the banks have one of the most just amazing fucking... Oh, I just doxed my email. Okay. Fuck. Well, I'm gonna dox everything, man. This is the problem with coding live. You just need a whole fucking system to just code live. And I mean, I'll fucking cut it from the end. It's kind of slow, unfortunate. Let's dox everything, man, even my fucking... And probably I shouldn't say this, because then there's gonna be bots that go over the internet and they look at the transcript and they listen to when one says, oh, I fucking doxed my this, my that, my A, my B, and they just look at that and they just implement models to go fucking steal that. I know that there are bots that scrape all of GitHub, trying to find exposed API keys. I feel like if you go over everyone that codes live on YouTube, which is not many people, and I feel like nobody really watches this, I think. That's why I react to videos also. But, I think that is one of the ways in which AI just changes this. Now, YouTube's rate limiting for sure may play a role in this, but really, do I think so? Not really. And from the transcripts, you can get all of that kind of stuff. And then you just pass it on to a vision model and it scrapes out the keys. Actually, vision models, LLMs, all of these models are great for data scraping. I know it sounds very naive and like, you have all of this power and you're just gonna use it to data scrape? Yeah, because at the end of the day, data is the most important thing. It's the most valuable thing. It's the most impactful thing. We live in a world that simply operates on data. So really, what comes from it is that data is immensely valuable, and now companies lock it up. Companies don't give it to you. They've understood this. Back in the day, let me tell you, it was so fucking easy to scrape. Not that it's hard now. Now you can just use LLMs. So actually now it's even easier. But the fact that companies are so greedy with it makes rate limiting and all that kind of stuff much more tedious to work with. But back in the day, companies were so dumb. Oh man. Anyway, this is pretty slow, but I feel like we've almost got there. Let's see. I feel like we've almost got there. So, then we're gonna try this. Let me paste in. Oh, I've already done this. Nah. I hate the fact that, these AI models just don't have any creativity at all. Like, anytime they build something like this, keyword artificial intelligence. My god. Like, bro, just go over, I don't know, into something else. They just talk about AI models. Like, fuck AI, man. All it does is write code. It's a slave. It's a fucking slave. AI is a slave. Okay? And that's how you should use it. Robot itself means slave. So, the funny thing is that the robotic slaves are gonna, the artificial slaves are gonna take over. And oh, it saves it in place. Oh, or maybe not. Wait, let me see. Now I feel like we're going used to not having any privacy, at least online, even in the real world actually. But I feel like it's incredibly dangerous for a bunch of reasons, but I think that this kind of data can then be used to create stuff that's extremely violent and extremely disruptive to the tissue of society. It's extremely dangerous. So I'll give you a couple examples. One is, you see a video that you like on Instagram, and so you think to yourself, I'll comment on this, I'll say like, that's fire, to support the person that made the video. And that would be nice. You're actually supporting that guy. But the thing is, while you do this, your emotions are being tracked by Instagram. And so I feel like it can just do a psychoanalysis on. But the kind of psychological introspection that you can get from a person's behavior is so damn powerful. Think about the psychological weapons that can be used against you. I'll show you in a minute that actually you can create videos, targeted videos. With AI now you can just make so many and so quickly. And if you know stuff about a person's past, their psychological profile, the kinds of things that get them triggered, I feel like the kind of things that Instagram can then show you on the feed can actually be extremely disruptive to your psyche. Secondly, I think that one of the most important sources of data is hospitals. The clinical data that you can get from a hospital is so valuable, and hospitals have some of the worst data safety. Hospitals are the ones getting constantly hacked. Hospitals are the ones that don't care about the data. And this is so stupid, because the kind of bioweapons that you can produce with that data is astonishing. I feel like bioweapons is one of the things that scares me the most. It feels like something so extremely disruptive, so extremely subtle, so extremely lethal, that this kind of ecosystem in which data leaks every day is just asking for these kind of things to happen. So the psychological and bioweapons that can come out of this are so immensely powerful, so immensely disruptive, that, it's just an extremely bad position to be in, I feel. Who doesn't have privacy? Who is not entitled to their privacy? And I think, as prisoners, which kind of free man has to be monitored all the time, and has to, be surveilled all the time? It's the prisoners that get the treatment. So pretty much we're living in prison pro max, in which everything you do is tracked, everything you do is used against you, everything you do is fundamentally a sin, and everything you do will be used against you. I know I'm sounding very pessimistic, and I feel like I've accepted this. This is why I'm making content, because I've understood that regardless, I can either not have any opinion and just take it, or I can just use the fact that my privacy is fucked anyway, and drive this forward. Make content, tell the world that since I don't have any privacy, at least I'll use it to do something, to move people, to take action. Okay, lovely. This is awesome, man. Why haven't I used this more? I've written this code. Well, actually AI did for me. But the thing is, you can now just write code. You can now just make fun projects. This is the best thing about AI coming into programming. You can fucking code whatever you want. I used to, back in the day, not be able to code all the stuff that I wanted to. I used to have so many ideas, like, we're fucking gonna design this kind of architecture, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And then I pretty much never did it because, well, it's coding used to be a fucking tedious task. Now it's fun. Now AI does it for you. It's like the invention of fire. It's like, before you have to fucking cook a steak with, I don't know, with the heat of your hands probably. You used to do like this. Maybe you put it up to the sun But now you can fucking cook a steak with fire. And so you can just get your projects done. And the best thing is, I used to never finish projects. Never finish projects. Like, finishing is so difficult. To most people, finishing a project is so difficult. Well, the best thing that comes out of AI writing code is that now, first of all, you can write so much more code. So I used to never get to work on stuff that I liked because I was, too busy with my job. And so by the time I finished that, I'd be drained and I wouldn't want to work on anything else. But now coding is almost fun. Now you can just get to the fun part. You can get to code any and everything that you want. It also diminishes its monetary value for sure. The thing is, most people don't understand this, but if before it was a normal distribution, if before the ability of the coding prowess of people was a normal distribution, now it's a step function. So if before you could ask someone, how good are you at coding? I think that most of the top 50% have moved into being all as good as the top 10% before. And I feel like all the ones that were below average or average before, they're all fucked. They're all like useless. They're all absolutely useless now. And people say, you say that coding doesn't, you say that, you're a dumbass if you think that AI will change coding so much. Well, it has already. But anyway, the fun thing is that you can just finish stuff now. You can code something up in 10 times less time. That's absurdly awesome. That's absurdly good. That is, you don't understand how powerful that is. That is absolutely great. Well, it also means that there is so much more code getting written, and I feel like the jobs are gonna get fewer and much better paying. I'm not saying there is no money. I'm saying that the competition now is fierce. I'm saying that maybe AI won't replace programmers, but it's gonna make for an environment in which you just need very, very few of them. And I feel like one of the things that you can do to counter this is not get into, programming, just get into machine learning, just get into generative AI training. That is not the way. I feel like the best thing that you can do is cybersecurity, because now there are so many threats. Now there are so many more people that can just go into it. And I think that this current system, this current ecosystem in which AI can enable so many people to be so much more dangerous, to write so much more dangerous code, is inevitably going to result in somebody fucking up greatly. Cyber attacks. I feel like we're gonna see some absolutely devastating cyber attacks. This is almost inevitable. This is going to be what wakes people up. Probably. Fucking, you could have woken up earlier before the disaster, idiots. I feel like that is something that we need to talk about more. The fact that any and everything can be fucked up. Any and every system that you use can be hacked. So just think about if UPI goes down forever. Just think about if your bank stops working forever. Think about if the power grid gets hacked and it gets permanently disabled. Think about so many things, man. But the disruptive prowess of all of this. Or say nuclear plants get hacked and a nuke is piloted remotely into the city itself that it's being thrown at, into the country itself. Like, do you see how dangerous it can be? And that is going to be a hard awakening, but I feel like, cybersecurity is one of the most important things right now. Cybersecurity is likely the next frontier of war. It already is. It has been for a while, but I feel like it's going to be violated right now because the game has changed. The rules have changed forever. And I feel like we don't understand how much so. But anyway, the great thing about AI is that everybody can write so much more code. The great thing about it is that people who are very good are now extremely good, superhumanly good. And this also constitutes a great problem for security. Likely, there are going to be many less jobs because just think about this. I used to have a fake data engineering job, okay? And it actually made sense because it was a tedious job. You had to clean data, you had to move data, and all of that. But now, the same thing that would take you 3 months takes you a week. So, if before it took 5 people, it may take 1 now. This is what I say when I say that AI is changing programming forever. It means that it's gonna be much more difficult to get a job. Unless it is like, marketing affiliated. That's the kind of wave that we're moving into. Awesome. Okay. I'm pretty happy with how it's going today. So we have already 2 videos recorded. This is crazy. Anyway, now. Wake up, Mr. West. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Da, 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 do, 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 do. You heard about good news? Yeah, sleeping on your boy. Had a good snooze. Wake up, nigga, wake up. We're about to get this paper. Pablo got a rollie in the whip. Feel like the more fame I get. You heard about the good news? Yeah, sleeping on your boy. Had a good snooze. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Okay, now. Okay, actually I'm gonna move this to over here as well. This is a utility function. So, Okay, now, let me see how we can fix this. So, first of all, one thing that I needed was a way to, well, find the assets to use. So first of all, let me get the generate. Okay, this is awesome. Let me just paste this into here. Okay, great. Now, I'm just doing with the cup status. I know I may look a bit newbie, but I use this like just this Gemini helper function where I just go generate and it just works. For me, this is the best because when I want to instantiate a call to an LLM and I ask an LLM to write it for me, it always sucks. It always sucks. So, this works better for me. Anyway, now, once we have this cut made, I feel like the next thing is, and also like, you can just reuse it. So that's the best thing for me. Anyways, so I may put on some music. Do you want some music? I'll put on some music anyway. I've been listening to a lot of classical music while I work lately, and it's actually pretty awesome, Wagner playlist. I just put on playlists on YouTube. I don't use Spotify anymore. You know, it makes you feel much more. It makes it feel like what you're doing is much more important than it actually is. So that's why I do it. Nope. I don't know what. Wait a second. Wait a second. Okay. My God, I need a new one. Okay. Add OBS. Now you see the code that I'm writing. So I don't know why it was stuck beforehand. I don't know. Well, now you can see the code. So maybe I didn't leak my every API key. that's good. Okay, so now you'll get to see finally all of this. So now that we have this, so the path to work on is going to be this one. I feel like it's code like this. Well, we're just gonna, yeah. Okay, so now we need to transcribe this again. I wish I could, you know, not transcribe again, but honestly, the only issue with this is that it's kinda probably slow. Transcriber is slow. That is the main issue with this. So, well, alternatively, what can we do? Right? So really there is little that one can actually do. So, or, well, maybe we can change this afterwards. Let's make it work first, and then we'll make it cheap and efficient and pretty, but let's just make it work first. So let's try it now. Maybe it's faster. So this just returns the transcript. Okay. It doesn't make it any faster, I think. So really there is little to no value in making this change. But yeah, we'll see. My god, is this slow? My god. So, you know, it just slows down the whole process by another great deal, actually. But I think we'll have to accept this, unfortunately. So, you know, this is how it goes. It's bad. It's bad news, but it's okay. We'll take it as it is, okay? So, you know, slows down quite a lot, though. So, it probably also depends on my internet connection, but pretty slow. Because, like, the process before also took something like, I think, 8 or 10 minutes. So that is, well, that is slow. So now, what do we do? Well, first of all, again, let's make it work, and then I'll find something. I'll find a way to get it done afterwards. But, so in the meantime, while this goes ahead, whoops. So we're gonna do. Fucking can't write code without an LLM. I use, the funny thing is I use LLMs to write my prompts, which is, you know, somewhat funny. Da, 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 da.
Ungolo.
Sì, sì. Grazie mille.
Questo perché lo tagliato.
Sì, sì, sì. Grazie. Ciao, sei a posto.
Oh damn! Now that I think about it, I think that I just came to a conclusion, which is, oh fuck, you couldn't see anything. Okay. What a dumbass. How is it so slow? How is it so slow? Why is all of this so slow? Well, think this was just better. It was quicker, faster. It took 50 seconds the first time around. It took 7 minutes now. So I'm gonna just keep the one at the beginning. Because it worked. I think this just slowed all of it down. I was trying to be too smart. Okay. So let's get this done. And now it should be quicker, you know. But anyway, I was looking for a way to fix this. You see, it took 30 seconds now. So by trying to make it quicker, I made it slower. This is a great teaching. This is a great teaching. Sometimes your efforts get directed in the wrong way. Even if your intent is good, your actions may be wrong. Anyway, now this. Just as I was writing this prompt, I came to the realization that, okay, I'm actually Let's see. Let's see what prompts this gives us. I'm a dumbass. I'm a loser. I'm a loser. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. I'll go to the washroom a second. So, okay. Well, okay. So we're gonna try both system prompt 1. So I'm gonna call this, well, I'm not gonna call this anything for now. And we're gonna generate and we're gonna extract so actually I have this over here also. Parse LLM JSON file. And this also goes in the util functions because, you know, it's just there for this. So okay. And Okay. So now we have this transcript. We're going to put it through this test. Let's see what comes out, because it's a relatively beefy, oh yeah. I feel like the transcript isn't working. Oh, that's it. So even this needs to be passed in as utterances, I think. Text. I'll be thinking I knew like it came in from above, above, above. I feel like a bird sitting high, high. I'll be the man on the moon. And I'ma do what I do, so who you? So, a thing that I don't like about this, like, the code that gets generated by Gemini is always so damn beefy. Like, do we really need all of this? Let's see, does this work? So inside an utterance we have text. Is it like this? No, I think it's paragraphs. goes word by word, but it doesn't go like come on, all I do is try to make it simple. The ones that make it complicated never get congratulated. I'm something different in all aspects. Don't want a woman, just another acid. I still wipe her up even with a flat chin. The type to get hurt, but does the past tense when my mind is all crazy, 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 crazy. I be thinking I ain't human like I came from above. I feel like a bird sitting high. I'll be the man on the moon. I'm the man on the moon. And I'ma do what I do. So who you? I'll be posted with my burning room. I do. I'm the man on the moon. I'm up on the moon. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Close my eyes. Security calls. Come on. All I do is try to make it simple. No one's to make it complicated and never get congratulated. Never know aspects. Don't want a woman just to love her assets. I still wipe her up even with a flat chest. The type to get hurt, but there's the past tense when my mind is all crazy, 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 crazy. I've been thinking I'm human, I came from above. My swag was a little different. Was it a little lame? I got the last laugh, nigga. You know what, when you need something done and you just don't wanna write the code, you can just add an LLM call. So, but actually, well, first of all, let's try it like it is, right? So I don't know why let's try it like this. So let's see how these come out. Now this is going to be interesting. So let's see. Oh, let's go. Just works as is. Just works as is. That is absolutely crazy. That is unbelievable, man. Okay, so this is just dumb. So the spacing and the formatting is all right. Doesn't really make any particular problem. So, well, I feel like what really is left to be engineered is how to deal with which fields do I need here. But that's pretty much the last thing that's left. And I feel like, well, once that is done, once that is found, we can just, have videos being edited by themselves. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? My God. Okay, so I'll just record a couple videos now. I'll do it real quick. I feel like AI has taken already so many creative, so many intellectual jobs. If you just look at how many people write their scripts, their YouTube scripts with AI, with ChatGPT, it's an astonishing number. So even if it's a person that is speaking, even if it's a person on camera, if the text was written by an AI, who is to credit for this? Generative AI is being used everywhere. And I feel like it contributes to the cheapening of art. It contributes a lot to the cheapening of social media, but the point is, social media has been cheap for a long time. Social media has been full of garbage and absolutely disgusting content for a long time. And it's just, most of what you see online is fake. Most of what you see online is just disgustingly fake. Every influencer that you know, every influencer that you follow, they don't think, they don't mean what they say. Somebody gives them a script with the things to say, and they just say them out. So they are not independent people, they're just faces for ideas. And the ideas, more often than not, are not even their own. And AI just makes this worse, because now you can just have faces being generated for ideas. Just as we saw a couple of days ago, there was this band, the Velvet Sundowns. The music industry has always been like this. It's always been puppets moved by people behind the scenes. The movie industry has always been like this. And we thought that YouTube, that social media, could be a way for people to broadcast themselves. But the thing is, that simply isn't the way. It's been corrupted just as everything else. That's why I don't like editing my videos anymore. That's like one of the main reasons, because everybody can edit now, and it's just everybody is a shill. Everybody is a vehicle for ideas that don't come out of them. And oftentimes, the ideas are not even written by people anymore. Like, even the writers in the backstage, even the ghostwriters have been replaced by AI. So the creative industry right now, I feel like, well, let's call it what it is actually. The entertainment industry right now is on the precipice of so much cascading, so much stuff that can be made with AI, so much stuff that you don't need to pay people for anymore. And, that is really something. That is, if you're a greedy producer in Hollywood and Bollywood and Nollywood and any kind of entertainment ecosystem right now is a time in which you can make so much money and you can cut so many costs and you can take so many jobs away from creative people. And creativity has been relegated to this kind of thing that you either put your face onto and somebody else does the work for you, or if you want to do something creative, well, you have to do it for free on YouTube until somebody well, some sponsors come and pay you, and they take, well, your platform and use it to broadcast their ideas. So the entertainment industry is fundamentally corrupt at so many levels. It's so disgusting, and I feel like we're just getting started. Think about like right now, if somebody writes a book, can you believe they wrote it? Can you, like, think about if somebody makes a song, can you believe that they wrote it? If somebody writes a tweet, can you believe they wrote it? If somebody says something in a YouTube video, can you believe they wrote it? It's just, there is this dubious shade around authorship right now. And the easy way out is, well, stopping any consumption of that kind. Anything that has been made in the last 5 years, it's just slop, first of all, and second of all, well, who made it? Who made it really? That is a big problem. So, really, what we need is a return to the past, really. I hope that this will just constitute a way for us to reject modernity and embrace the great literary works of the past. And then I believe we should seek refuge in real life rather than the online world. Although it's more difficult, it's much more rewarding. I know that this may sound very controversial, but I think that the Rabbit R1 is one of the most beautiful products that has come out in recent times. And it's an idea. It's the way forward, pretty much. Rabbit R1 was this scam project by a Chinese guy who was a known scammer. He scammed with crypto before. He was gonna scam again, but the idea that he gave us with Rabbit R1 is so beautiful. And that is a teeny tiny device that gets to replace your phone and works just as well. And I think that is the future of mobile, that we don't need phones anymore because every interface is outdated. You see, your hands, you're using your hands to use devices is just fundamentally weak. It's slow, there's a lot of latency. It's not optimal. Like, if you think about it, one of the ways that you can use stuff now is with your voice. You can just say, do this, and LLMs have prompted a new way of using any app, pretty much, which, it just understands you. Just think about old people who couldn't understand any of the previous interfaces and used to give instructions like, in plain text, because that is the language that they understand. They can finally use technology now. So, really, I think that most stuff can just be used with voice. It just needs to work. The problem with Rabbit R1 was that they took the money and they didn't build a product. Or they built a very weak product. The thing is, that product is not particularly difficult to build. It's a pretty simple agent inside a tiny body. And it has a tiny little screen. Maybe if you just add a good camera to it, that's all you need. That's all you need. So maybe a good battery also. But the thing is, I think that the consumer electronic products of the future are not going to be phones. They're all almost going to be screenless, or they're going to have tiny screens. And also, screens have exhausted us. You download social media on your phone and it just takes over everything else. And I think that most consumers just don't want that. Most consumers are looking for an alternative that doesn't suck their time. And I feel like a compromise like a working Rabbit R1 is a very working one. Like it works very well. So yeah, I think that in the future, technology is not going to have screens, or they're going to be used in a very different way. And if you think about it, even Apple right now is in a deep crisis. They've understood that it's not going to be Apple that's going to lead the way forward. They destroyed their user interface just to get some views online. Do you understand? Do you understand how deeply endangered the phone market is? Once people understand that phones are the past, phones are the way of the past, and we have the future right now, we have it here, well, you'll see how much of a great revolution that is. Anyway. Now, what is left over here? Well, so we need to fix this. Okay, so I need to understand exactly which fields I need and which I don't. So first of all, I think, okay. So I think that a description field is absolutely necessary. I'll just... That's part of Apple. Also, there's like, well, the thing is, Apple is in deep trouble right now. Like they destroyed the user interface just to get views. Do you understand how deeply in danger they need to be to do that? So, just give me a second. But like, you know, nobody buys Apple anymore, and well, not really. A lot of people buy Apple still, but they've been making the same phone for the past 6 years. You know, so they're not innovating anymore. And I think that with the ways that AI has evolved, Siri should be much better than it is. And you know, I think that the time is very ripe for a phone that doesn't steal your time, you know. So that's something. Okay, so anyway, don't need this anymore. So, let me see what Gemini has said. So, anyway, I'm building a video editing agent that is gonna just edit all of my videos going forward. So that's what I'm building right now. Let's see if this is better. So let's change this system prompt. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Hopefully it works out fine. Yeah, that's cool. I know. That's why I'm building it. So, let's see. Source text. Show abstract data animation. So well, one of the main things that I've kind of been wrestling with and kind of understanding is, you know, how to use real images. So like, you know, when to use images that you get from a search result, and when to use images that are generated with AI. Because right now it's kind of good at just, you know, giving you this AI thing. Like, it's good at giving you prompts. It's very not good at giving you keywords or search keywords, you know. So really, that's a big issue. But anyway, so. Also, there's a bunch of like very interesting video models, like video generation models. Not just VO3, but like also some Chinese video models are absolutely amazing. But the thing is, that's still kind of expensive. Those models are still very expensive. So if you're going for volume, it's very difficult to use those. Anyways. We're gonna get rid of this. So now we have composition idea, keywords, mood, asset type, visual brief. Okay. Well, first of all, let me see. Visual brief is dope. So how did you start doing all? So first of all, for now, the first thing that it does is just remove all of the silences, all of the improper things that you said, everything that went wrong. It just skims it down to just a... So first of all, it transcribes it and it removes everything that you need to cut. So that's already a good time saver. But now, again, you use the transcript and you have it, you know, divided in sentences, and for each sentence you look at how to, you know, what kind of video should we put onto this. So this is the part that I'm working on right now. Yeah, man, I mean, once I'm done with this, I'll probably make I'll probably put the code out. I'm gonna do that. But yeah, it's not even a particularly complex thing. It's just the problem mainly is that the videos that come out are not good, usually. So, you know, it's still not it's never going to be an agent that just does everything on its own. It's not going to, you know, think for you, have your style, all of that kind of stuff. It's likely not going to have it. Yeah, but I think it's also not going to be something fully autonomous. It's going to be something that you still have to give it an input. You still have to give it you know, you have to steer it still. It doesn't do everything on its own. So I mean, as long as it, you know, just automates the objective parts, that's good enough for me. Now, I think I've so I'm not sure if this is the right way, but damn. So as long as it's about, you know, just getting rid of everything that is extra, that's easy. But when it starts to, when it comes to adding stuff, that's the difficult part. But yeah, well, it's valuable because it's difficult, no? Yeah, I think the best way is to, you know, take some existing videos, transcribe those, and then use that as a starting point. I think that's the best way, because, you know, the model itself is not particularly creative. So best thing is probably to set up a a structure of how I want the outputs to be, and then just take a few videos, transcribe those, and use those as examples. Like, if the model just has like 3-5 examples, it's good enough. So that's probably the best way to go about this. And then the best thing is that you can just transcribe more examples and have, just try a bunch and see which one you like best. So yeah, kinda. It's much more of a trial and error kind of thing than a perfect science, really. Because like right now, the thing is, if you ask a model to write something, it's always gonna be robotic. It's always gonna be like boring. It's always gonna be just soulless. It's always gonna be numb. So that's a big problem. Yeah, anything that everybody can do is not like, obviously. Now, because like, I'm thinking, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just Yeah, I mean, you need to find what works. And oftentimes, what works is not what is what should work on paper. So that's kind of something. So just a little complicated. I'll get back to this anyway. So I also needed to try this. Okay. Okay, so we get to download images like this. It works. That's fine. Really, I think that I just need the model to understand what it's like editing videos. So really, like, all it needs is I don't know. Damn, such a complicated issue because it just needs some memory. It just needs a little bit of memory. Anyway.
ਖਾ ਦੂੰ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਮੈਂ ਉਹ 2:30 ਵਜੇ ਆਣਾ ਹੈ 2 ਵਜੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਖਾਣਾ ਖਾ ਕੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਖਾਣਾ ਖਾ ਲਈ
Okay, I'm ending the stream here. I'll see you next time. Thanks for dropping by, man. Really appreciated it. I'll probably stream again, like, probably in the afternoon. So, yeah.